All right. How are you?
How are you, Brendan? I have to look elsewhere when I ask you that. So uncomfortable.
Can't look me in the eye. I'm good. I've lost my remote for my light. Not happy about it. Cheers. Are you in a bad mood?
No. Now, do you find that when
Moving
you're
on.
a mess, that you try to point out other people's messiness in hopes of deflecting?
Oh.
Do you feel you do it?
I don't think so. I think I own up to being a mess. No?
That's a different question.
Oh. Okay. Us moving on.
Yeah, I guess I'm not going to get an answer.
I said I don't think so.
Oh.
Well, I didn't say that. I gave you the answer you didn't when I said.
You gave me an answer to a question I didn't ask.
Well, I think I own up to it. I don't think I do, but maybe I do. Doesn't mean I don't.
Interesting.
Just means I don't realize it.
Oh.
Right?
I guess.
I mean,
don't
you
know.
can't see your blind spots, right? For good reason, because you're blind.
They're not there.
You don't see them. That's why they're called blind spots. I've been losing a lot of things lately, misplacing them, which is not like me at all. I generally live in a little bit of chaos for sure, but I know where everything is. Like, I lost the light at work, like a battery powered light, and then remote to this one, and then a heat shield for the heat press. Have no idea where it is.
I mean, it's tricky if it's not at home, because it makes sense why you would lose things at home.
It is at home for sure.
Oh, all
like
those
last
things?
I had, the remote is definitely at home. I had it.
No, I meant the work light.
Oh, no, that's gone. Someone ripped that off after I forgot it at the job site. It's definitely gone.
Right. But you couldn't find it at the job site. Or did you just forget to even grab it?
I just forgot it.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I thought you put it down on the job site, and then we're like, where'd I put it?
Oh, no. I just forgot to take it. I lent it to someone and then never went back and got it, and that was the end of that.
That's a bummer.
Well, what's not a bummer is this episode. We're going over how the other half lives.
Hi, I'm Brendan Fehr.
And I'm Majandra Delfino. A decade or two ago,
Closer to 3, really.
a while back, we starred in the cult hit WB show Roswell.
And while we are in fact ex-co-stars, we are also actual exes in real life.
Boyfriend and girlfriend exes.
Unnecessary clarification, but welcome to the X-Files, where we analyze all things Roswell. Episodes, co-stars, guest stars, and all the goings-on in front of the camera and behind the scenes.
In our probe, we may or may not agree, we may or may not get along, but if our history is any indication, we will most certainly dig up old stuff from the past and throw down. With guests, old and new, weighing in on who was right and who was wrong.
Oh, if we remember it, we're going to talk about it.
And if we don't remember, it's all good, because I kept my teenage diary to cross-reference, corroborate, confirm.
Wait, what?
Correct. So be prepared to pick a side.
Your actual diary, like for real.
Having a change of heart?
Or like a change of underwear.
Welcome
To the X-Files.
And then I just spilled tea on my card, and I hope it works.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Just now?
Just when I sat down.
But is it the
Like, my
card
notes,
that's supposed to be
my
in
notes
your...
are wet.
No.
No, it's not the card that's in there. Anyways, maybe I am a little bit of a mess today. Thanks for pointing it out.
I figured you were, because you immediately got on and started criticizing me. So I thought, I guess...
I just pointed something out. If you take it as a criticism, I can't really say anything. It's kind of,
I'm sure the tables were turned.
Okay.
Are you going to read from the book or what?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You should read. This is your first language. Your
read.
only language.
Yeah. Okay. How the other half lives. February 19th, one day before your birthday.
That's not my birthday.
I said one day before your birthday.
That's not one day before my birthday.
Yes, it is.
I had to.
I know that. I know your birthday. Gretchen Berg, Aaron Harberts, Breen Fraser. Story by Teleplay by Jason Katims and Ronald D. Moore. Directed by Paul Shapiro.
Now,
Guest
did
cast?
I look up what teleplay meant? No.
No, neither did I.
Forgot.
But why is it like a teleplay is usually...
Is it like story by, where, let's see.
Yeah, it's story by Gretchen Berg, Aaron Harberts, and Breen Fraser. So they came up with the story, and then Jason Katims and Ron Moore wrote the dialogue?
Okay. Like wrote it actually in script format?
I guess. Which it just wasn't done like... I wonder... because Ron wrote Disturbing Behavior, and I'm wondering if he wrote them... Like he wrote it as one-ish and then divided into two, so he still needed credit for it. I don't know.
Yeah, let me see. What does that mean?
Desmond ask you while you look it up. Desmond is Brody. Jeremy Davidson is still Grant Sorensen. Allison Lange is Laurie Dupree. Heidi Swedberg, Meredith Dupree, Dennis Christopher, Bobby Dupree, Erica Gimple. I don't know why I was going to say Gimble. Gimple. Gimp. Oh, I'm moving on. She's Suzanne Duff. That was just the P. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
This is a great transition.
Rosanna Porter is Carmen. Antonio Vega is the county clerk. While the team hunts for the Gandarium or Gandarium?
Yeah, Gandarium? Gandarium?
Gandarium. I know.
Yeah.
While the team hunts for the Gandarium queen, Kyle and Alex get trapped in the nest. Michael and Maria continue to protect Laurie, this time from her own relatives. How the Other Half Lives is a great title considering the references. How the rich live versus how the crystals live. Oh, okay. I did not see this coming.
Me either.
The rich need money to feed their lifestyle while the crystals need oxygen to survive. And that goes for everything living on planet Earth. But an alternate title for this episode could be Alex and Kyle Save the World. It's true. This episode is the last of the Hybrid Chronicles, tying up the Gandarium and Laurie Dupree storylines. While a lot of questions are left unanswered, we still have some great moments to keep us happy. This episode plays a large part in Michael's seasonal story arc, giving him one more reason to connect to his human side. Left turn. Hard left happening here.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of being criticizing.
What now? Is this about not having big enough boobs?
Yeah.
Another Dolly Parton reference.
I do a lot of breathing, a lot of heavy breathing.
Around big boobs.
Around big boobs.
Really
that
quick.
I'm okay with.
Hard
but it's like, is the mic
back?
too close? Just when I edit these and I look back and I'm just like, so out of breath, so much stuff happening, and I'm
you're
not.
saying that you just. Oh, okay. So you're saying you.
Like it's just a lot of like, do I need a bigger muff on my mic? Everyone needs a bigger muff.
It's
now
one
I'm
of
very
life's
conscious.
cruelest things. They get to give you such a great schnoz.
Big. You were going to say big.
Yeah. It's like it gets stuffy so easily.
Well, I am. This is my season. Every February, it moves into March a little bit now, but for 2 weeks, absolute allergies. Doesn't matter if anything blooms earlier or later on in the year. Doesn't happen. No allergies. I took a Claritin D today. I got to take Claritin D like twice a day, every day for 2 weeks.
Well, it's interesting too
the
because
breathing.
Yeah, I had that in LA. I would always feel like garbage. And everybody was like, it's in your head. And I'd be like, no, when I leave, I feel much better. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a hard left turn after the introduction to.
Well, not to take us back, but a teleplay
Please do. We're all over the map. You were mad at me when I first got on.
That's you. You were mad. You're like Trump, where you're like, everyone's this and that and has orange hair, and he's just describing himself. Okay. It represents the fully realized script, including dialogue, scene descriptions, and technical direction. So it's like the script.
Yeah.
Confusing. Yeah. They parse this up, That's how you're able to do the like story by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blew our budget. Got to pay all those people.
No. It gets. Oh my Lord. Okay. Well, that would explain the CGI. Okay. We'll get to that part.
Get off the planet now was where we left. Lyric Brody saying, "Get off the planet."
Love that.
Very.
And how exactly, Lyric? Say more. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know about the ground. I guess Lyric probably knows about the ground. Brody doesn't. So maybe through that, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. He's like, do you got your go bag? Because it's time.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm going to need more information just before I pack up and leave. Because they don't even know how to get home. Do they at this point? Because otherwise then Michael would go.
I wonder, though, how much of Michael really, when those people that are like, yeah, that's all I want. It's all I really want to do. And then they don't like actually, it's like, well, you could. No one's standing in your way.
Right. But yeah. I mean, but then he wouldn't. Yeah. I'm just walking myself through this right now, this whole thing. He can't possibly know.
I am now not making such definitive statements as I listen back and just am corrected so many times about things I thought I knew for sure in this show. And people reach out and be like, no.
Yeah. But we love that. Yeah. Do it. And I got interesting B&E. Oh, yeah. You don't know that it's Michael's, or I didn't know it was Michael's house until they got to the fridge with the Metallica and the Pearl Jam poster. And so I just thought it was an interesting decision to have this like dark masked character entering a place, clearly, robbing it or, clearly not theirs, but not knowing exactly whose place it was. Did you know it was Michael's apartment right off the hop?
Not right off the hop, no.
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting kind of like, it keeps the audience. And I went, oh, he's at Michael's. I don't know. Yeah. Just instead of establishing that right off the hop to keep that, I just, put it in my little notebook for something later on down the line.
Love it.
These binoculars need their own, like, trailer. Uh-huh. We're really putting these binoculars. They're a real standout in these couple episodes.
Yeah. How else?
These two dum-dums carrying around like, binoculars.
Exactly. Seeing nothing. They don't know how to adjust it to actually see. Did you see in the Roswell episode guide of our beloved Robin Burnett,
mm-hmm. I have it right here.
Silver hybrid, right here. Like we always have to know it's right close by. It says the Silver Hybrid Award goes to Maria and Michael. We got an award in this, according to Robin. Maria shows excellent leadership skills in this episode. She comes up with a plan to take on Bobby and Meredith, finds condemning evidence. Listen, spoiler alert. And then, where does it get to? Why does Michael? And then Michael comes through as the hero in the end. And I'm not going to say why, because we'll get there.
Does she give that award for every episode?
Unclear.
I don't think it's not an official award. I don't have that hanging over my mantle.
Yeah, what did you think I meant? That there was like an award ceremony called the Silver Hybrid? No, I said according to Robin, we get an award here, the Silver Hybrid Award.
Good. I think we deserved it.
I agree.
I mean, I'm full. He who shall remain nameless.
First, guess who was the first Voldemort?
That's what I was going to say. I was like, Did they steal that from us? Is this an old-timey saying?
Yeah.
That goes back to, like, what is the...
It's definitely been around.
What is the origin story of that? I wonder. Who was the first to be nameless? If you know, put it in the comments.
If it's not Hitler, who is it?
I mean, I think it's got to go back earlier than that.
Yeah. He who shall not be named. Yeah, because the Voldemort one is not exactly that.
It's not. But that stuck out to me where I went, oh, we were ahead of our time.
Yeah. And also I love that it was you. It was Michael.
Yeah, there's that part.
But that she calls Liz about the cashmere. It's just like, I'm wearing my mom's sweater. The cashmere one. It just, and oh boy, it's worse than the giggling. When she broke into Courtney's and was just like,
I know. I mean, it makes it fun. And what was wrong with the cashmere again? What did you do to it? What happened to it?
She stained it. She needed to, which, by the way.
How did you stain it?
I guess that entire adventure, the roadside cafe, she doesn't really get into it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's Michael's fault.
Whatever. Moving on.
Monica Lewinsky situation. But yeah, she just calls with that so loud.
The phone does not look like
phone with the antenna.
It looks like it needs a base, like a home base. You know how phones have the home base?
Yeah.
Like that you put it on. It doesn't look portable in any way, shape, or form.
It's got like a cord and it's attached to the car. And it's coming from the inside.
in the old like gas lighter, and the car's running because it's got to power it.
But it is absolutely just the beginnings of BNT, 100%.
Yes. This is we had a lot. This was I think how I envisioned Michael getting the fun out. Like, he's still not fun necessarily, but he gets his dry remarks. He gets to, point out, the stupidity or other people's hypocrisy or make these kind of one-liners. And I think on these adventures is where you get the quote, fun Michael.
Right.
Even though he's like annoyed, some of the times and everything else.
Yeah.
And so that always added that dimension that I really loved.
Yeah, I'm so fascinated by that, by a person who sort of puts up with a somewhat obnoxious person and is actually genuinely happy to be there and likes spending time with them. I don't understand it. It's very stoic. Very.
And Grant Sorensen is back to 5 o'clock Shadow because he's got to be the bad guy. So they started him off with 5 o'clock Shadow.
Yeah.
In the Hybrid Chronicles and went, this guy looks way too fucking old. We'll shave him.
Who knows? I mean, they shaved him only one episode. Maybe it was another job.
Interesting. And then to make him the bad guy, they put it back on him. And who lit all these candles in Laurie's room?
You're going to say, who let the dogs out? That was insane. Well, first of all, I loved the line, you and the accomplice with the lips.
Yes.
It could have been Michael or Maria they were referring to. And then my next note was that room with the bare mattress. Oh my God. And I only remember that as the location of us. I don't know if you remember this, having a full laugh attack in there. And
no.
Oh my goodness.
Over
I'm going to
what?
bring it up later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like that haunts me till this day. Yeah, those candles. But I mean, that was towards the end, right?
No, it wasn't towards the end. It's when
right away.
We go in there when she's laying there and we bump into her, we break in and we go, and there's just a tremendous amount of candles.
Yeah, I think I noticed them later and was like, what?
And how does Tess not know what the Gandarium are? Like, if this is from our other planet, and, it seems like it would be something fairly common.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, Tess should know. Like Niceto would definitely know if he was not dead.
Right. R.I.P. Yeah, it's interesting. That doling out of what people know and what they don't is very challenging. But I loved what you said before with Lyric just waltzing in and being like, Earth is infected. And I wrote, I wonder, like, you know, he takes over this body once in a while. And I wrote, I wonder how many times he jacks off.
Oh.
Just like a penis.
Just with his mind.
Do aliens have a penis?
Right. Does he know? Is this new? Does he even know how it works?
Yeah.
But coming in as Lyric and not Brody was a great little twist.
My favorite moment.
Like where you go, oh, what is Bro? And then Lyric.
It's me, Lyric. Everybody relax. It's me, Lyric.
Yeah.
It's just Lyric.
And
It's great too if he somehow knew that he has this Lyric card and he just says that from now on so that they'll take him more seriously.
If he remembers, but Brody doesn't remember.
That's
being
what I
Lyric.
mean. If he somehow could tap into that and then is like, oh, I can use this. But yeah, then I wrote, are alien hybrids the mules of Homo sapiens?
Yeah. I mean, I got Gandarium as a bridge, a catalyst, but could be a menace. Okay. And 1 in 50 million people are only available to expose. But yeah, this whole science, does the science behind the DNA and the RNA and the twist and the thing? Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, very confusing. And then I wrote here, Gandarium queen. There's some sort of Caribbean queen reference. Well, this can't be how you pronounce it.
Gandarium.
Based on how they pronounced it, really inspired me. But it's not making sense.
And a queen.
I made it real quick. I wrote, I have the saying that Brody, Lyric says, I have to return this body to its home or it won't survive, is going to be my new Irish goodbye. I have to return this body to its home or it won't survive. And just get the fuck out of there.
So the queen, hold on, we're going to move forward and we can move back. Because I didn't just watch it last night.
Mm-hmm.
What was the queen Gandarium? Why is this?
It's like the queen bee. Sorry,
right,
that sounds so terrible.
It was just one crystal?
Yeah, it's like that. Well, spoiler, it's that fucking octopus at the end.
Oh, that's right.
I know.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's why. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, because you left your body when you saw that, just like I did on the day.
That's right, slamming against the door and doing, I was just like, and like, it's such an odd choice. Like, the queen of the crystals is an octopus.
Yeah. You know, you were saying very kindly that it was a different time and budget and what I have to say is there was many things that were being done practically then. Truly, anything would have been better.
But the Gandarium are crystals, or the virus is in the crystals. And then, like, if you have a bees and you have a queen bee, they're both bees. The Gandarium are crystals. The queen of the Gandarium is a squid, an octopus, a thing. Like,
I know. No, I remember being
what is the choice?
So upset. And now this isn't, it's like whenever I say the things that upset me, it's because I felt such like protectiveness over the intellectual property, I guess. I don't know. But there were just things where I was like, wait, what? Like that can't possibly be it. This isn't in tandem with how high level everything else is about the world of Roswell. You know what I mean? And that was a toughie. And at the time, I remember being legitimately angry. Rage that was the queen bee.
I don't know if I did. I don't recall what my
I remember it. It was like a defining moment for me on set where I was like, what?
Okay.
I know. And then it aged. It was the same. It wasn't any better or worse, but it still didn't make sense. But what do I know? We'd have to ask, Melinda.
What do we know? the team of Garen and DeLuca is. I wrote team of Garen and DeLuca, please.
Yeah, truly. I was like, this.
Does someone say that though?
This is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The strengths of these two are great, and the weaknesses. They really balance each other out.
By the way, there's where my note is. Michael talking to Laurie with these lit candles. What? Yeah. It was truly, I believe, so much fun. I just enjoy those two so much. They're little hijinks. And I think they are good detectives.
And speaking...
I did write, why isn't Carmen decanting that wine?
The decanting of the wine is... I had... Yeah, the decanting of the wine was hilarious. Speaking of another great duo, though, Kyle and Alex.
So good. I was like, again, give them a sitcom. I need to see these two. The Odd Couple.
Because Nick has a line in there where he goes, I forget what it's in reference to exactly, but he goes, I don't know why I'm looking around. Because he kind of does, and I just went, I was killing myself laughing because I almost guarantee you it was an improv line.
Yeah.
And not in the script. And it came from like an insecure actor where you're making a choice.
Yeah, and you're like, this is such a dumb
And you're
choice.
like, I'm not doing this. I'm just doing something because I'm not like feeling like I know what I'm doing in the scene. Like I'm not feeling secure in the scene. And so you create something that doesn't exist just for the sake of doing something. And I guarantee you, he realized he was doing like this typical actor thing and then just turned it into something genius. Was, I don't know why I'm looking around, because it does still fit in the scene because they're out of their element.
Right. He had a lot of those, a lot of Nick-isms where he made things fun and funny to himself. And then as a result, they were funny to us as well. But you can tell he was kind of making some jokes for himself. When Alex shouted, that first shout of like excitement, it really just woke Kyle up. The vigor, the energy, it was just incredible. And then I wrote, I hope if we take one thing, I hope if we take one thing away from this episode, it is about the power of crystals. I mean, this really just underscores what people that believe in crystals have been saying for decades.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael referred to as a beatnik. I know. Mm-hmm.
And before I knew that the octopus was the queen, I have Grant is the queen.
That's would have been ideal. I thought the queen would be inside Grant. Me too.
Like taking over, like without seeing it, right? Putting it not in the form of that. Yeah. But Grant is the queen is also just screams. It needs to be said a certain way. It was just, and looking on the page, it was just very funny.
I like when he starts repeating things he knows, and he's like, "Gato is the word for cat." I thought that was great.
Oh, it was so good. He did such a good job there.
Yeah, and then you know how Laurie takes Michael to the basement. It just. I wrote his grandpa in the basement a la Babadook. It had such a creepy vibe. Like, grandpa's in here, want to meet him type of thing. Remember? That freaked me out. Gave me the chills. And then it's like, no, she just wants to smell his shirt.
Also, in the very first scene with Isabel, she's got the headscarf on. And I noticed it. It caught my eye and I went... Right? There was just something. And then I realized as the episode, she's in the rain. They're in the rain at the end. And I guarantee you it was like a choice of reading the script and going like, let's put on a headscarf at the beginning of the episode so that, because Liz has got the bucket hat on, they're all kind of done up for the rain. Right. And that's, if I knew my hair was going to get rained on, I would have been like, how do I not have that happen to me at the end?
Interesting.
And so I think it just putting the pieces together, I went, oh, I was like, that's why she's got the headscarf on.
Yeah.
Because she's got to be in the rain at the end.
I just loved it. I was like, oh, what a Jackie O look.
Oh, no. It looked great, but it was just something that was just abnormal, right? It was
more
just
practical.
a little bit off axis of like what was normally, what was normally done. So
now, Grant, when he's trying to remember things like Gato is the word for cat, he suddenly becomes Christopher Walken. Did you find that? Like, he suddenly had like a New Jersey accent and was like, Gato. Like, just there was something walken-y. And then my note right after that is, oh, Nick's beautiful singing voice.
It was so, and that's why you could put, like, there was a number of really interesting duos in this show. Like the typical, like, you got the Candies and the Dreamers and Lamp Trimmers and all that stuff. But, like I've always said, when it was me and Liz, which wasn't a lot, it just takes on a completely different dynamic. You and Jason had a couple, and it's just it becomes something so different. Obviously, when the episode we've already done, I already forget the name of it, but Jason and Nick.
And How the Other Half Lives, or in Disturbing Behavior?
No, in when they get drunk. When Jason gets drunk, whatever.
Date. Yeah.
Yeah, Blind Date. Like, all these different dynamics, the show takes on this really, it stays the same and it stays in its, but just pairing up different people and putting them in situations. And we had so many of them, with Bill, and Colin, you could kind of put these odd combinations together that changed the dynamic of the show for drama and or fun. And I don't think a lot of shows have that.
Yeah, it's true. It did keep things interesting, and it kept things interesting for us as well. Like when I remember when I was in the Kit Shickers with Bill, it was like this whole new world of like acting mostly with Bill. Like, that was very cool. Very smart of them.
And it is like real life too, because like I have my friends, I have very few solo friends, that I just hang out one-on-one. I have a few of them, but there's those. And then I have a lot of people that I will never see one-on-one. It's just going to be in a group setting. And they're great, you know what I mean? And I'm sure they feel the same about me, but it is interesting. You do have like group friends, and then you have your single friends. But our guest is here.
Our guest is here. So
we're going to take a break from this and find out what she has to say.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Okay. I haven't seen you in forever. You look fucking identical.
I really do. I mean, Allison, I have seen you.
Aw, thank you. Thank you. You guys look the same too. Thank you. So sweet. Well, I was a little nervous, so thank you. Makes me feel nice.
Oh.
I don't know why. Like, I know you guys, I feel like I know you guys so well, but it has been. Brendan, I don't think I've seen you in like 16, 17, 18 years, something like that. I don't know, right?
Probably close to 20 years for sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, it's been a long time. I mean, definitely since I've been in New Mexico, and that's been 13 years.
Oh, wow.
And then it was probably 5 before that, right? Like, yeah. So, I mean, you're right there. Where are you these days? And you have kids. I know nothing of your life. Last I heard, you were doing a lot of the dog shelter stuff.
Oh, yes, I had, I ran a rescue. I've stepped back from like actively rescuing animals because it just takes over your life. But I have a foundation too that I co-founded that we donate money to rescues and spay-neuter programs and all of that. But yes, I'm married and I have two girls, and Majandra told me you have 3.
I got 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
but I live in
so young because you still had diapers around, you said.
Yeah. I have a almost 7-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Oh, back in the diapers.
Yeah.
Just got out of the diapers and then back in them.
I know.
I don't understand. Why do people say that? The diapers is the best. It's the best. It's the worst when they're fucking out of the diapers. Please shit in a diaper.
I mean, not now. I mean, she's the oldest is 7. I'd prefer. That'd be terrible if she was still in diapers. But
now, did you watch the episode?
I did. The nostalgia. I mean, I got all the feels. I was like, first of all, it's awkward. I haven't watched them in so long that I got all awkward because I was trying to remember like what I did and how I looked and all of that. But yeah, just the song coming on at the beginning, I was like, oh, this is so nostalgic and brought back so many memories.
It really is wild. And we were saying, Allison, how it's so crazy because people always think in this industry that that any of us have the power to hire a friend or whatever. And we're like, no, like this was just the craziest, most wonderful coincidence.
Yeah.
That you were there. Yeah. And it just,
I think I auditioned for that, for the show at least 2 other times before that.
And we were living together at this time, right?
Mm-hmm, yes. Yeah. And I auditioned before. I think I just got really lucky also in one way because I remember being in the audition room with the producers, and one of the producers was like, I was just at the theater, for the Lenley on like Sunset and Crescent Heights. They always played like small movies or, independent movies. I guess she saw a preview or a trailer for a movie that I was in. So I think it was good timing because she's like, I just saw this trailer with you in it. And I was like, yes. And I think that kind of helped too. So,
yeah.
I mean, but you were also very good. Me and Majandra were going through. So this is the Hybrid Chronicles is kind of what the series that you were involved in. Mm-hmm. You get kidnapped because, you're infected and it's a 4 episodes. And so we work our way up to this one, but especially in I think it was the last one, the way you have to, because you're from the psych ward and, a little paranoid, blah, blah, watching you is exhausting.
Yeah, like the energy you'd have to keep up to just the running.
Not that you're awful to watch. It's like, you're exhausting to watch. You have nothing going on behind the eyes. No, but just know the manic energy that you had to keep up, like from scene to scene, and running away, and like, seeing me and then freaking out because I'm Grandpa 1935,
right?
And just, as an actor watching that going, oh, just give her a nap. Let her give her a scene just to calm down on. Because it's just, and it was so well done because it never looked, it's something you can easily, I think, force or just because you are tired, because it is, so much and it is depleting. Mm-hmm. You can kind of lose that energy and you kind of see, kind of some cracks in the armor maybe, and yours was just I thought it was solid across the board.
Aww.
It was so great, Allison. It was insane. You were carrying all of us on your back.
You guys are so fun to watch too together, so I appreciate that because I do remember after the first episode where I'm like running a lot outside, I was sick, and Brendan, I remember you walking in and I was like into our apartment and like looking in my room, like, are you okay? Because it was all dark because after that shoot, because I was barefoot outside for like just running around. I mean, not that I was doing my stunts, but like you're just outside in the cold and shooting at night. And I got sick that night because I was just running around from like one place to the other outside.
I remember that.
I'll bet. Yeah. And now I remember Allison till this day. It haunts me.
Okay.
You were in that room with the bare mattress.
Yeah.
And I forget what scene it was, but something had to go down where it was just really like you're just crying, just a really challenging scene. And that is when Brendan and I get attacked by the like night giggles. And we could not stop laughing. Do you remember this, Brendan?
I don't remember this. Do you remember what we were laughing at?
No, something so stupid. And I remember being like, how do I not have control to the point that I'm laughing so hard and here she is having to do so much and I'm like, like I couldn't stop. And it was that thing, when you just get stuck.
What? And to have her have to be so emotional and do that scene and then have these 2 fucking idiots. Just
I think I knew you guys well enough, though, right?
But that even made it worse, Allison, where I was like, this is my friend. Like, pull it fucking together, and could not for the life of me. And it's like that rising panic, when you're like, I am not in control of this. And it's like legitimately stayed with me till this day. That's how awful it was.
If it makes you feel better, I do not remember you guys laughing during that scene at all.
Thank goodness.
I do remember, even watching it, I think once, wherever it was after a scene, I think with Brendan, where my character, where I was finally able to kind of just chill a little bit. I wasn't as crazy, and I was like swimming or whatever, which I don't remember going swimming.
Oh yeah, in the pool.
In the pool. I don't remember that at all. I was like, I got a bathing suit on set. Oh God.
Yeah.
But I remember like relaxing, even watching it, being like, oh, thank God, I could just like.
Yes. She could just like not strain. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a surprise to me too. I was like, I don't remember her having to get in the pool, because that's always such an ordeal. Is it cold? Is it this or that?
I remember the dinner. I remember all of us getting to sit down and eat the dinner and have fun and all that stuff. And I do remember us being poolside. But yeah, when I saw you in the pool, I was like, okay. It was like, yeah, I guess so. Relax. But when you did get to calm down in the last episode before this, I had pointed it out where there was a really sweet moment, and not one that would strike you as like emotional off the page, but where you're like, you're not my grandpa, are you? And it was just such a well delivered line, because it just, it was you could see everything, going through your face and through it. So it was very well done.
And it was just so earnest. It's true.
I remember that one. I think it was also very lucky, timing wise on the shot. Sorry, I'm blowing out here. Not lucky, but
that's fine. That's fine. We can.
I remember it was lit. They were just really lucky with the time that we shot it, because it was such a beautiful golden hour.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I remember it's one of my favorite scenes in this whole experience with you guys. I really liked that scene too.
And do you remember? I think the fact that you had auditioned 2 times before this. Mm-hmm. So they had to have an idea. It's always, I wonder what for. Do you remember what for?
First for the series regular, Emily got, right?
Right. Yeah,
and
for
then,
Tess.
Oh, okay.
And then,
for
and
Tess.
then what Sarah got, yeah.
And then
and then Sarah, okay.
Well, it makes sense. Sarah makes sense too. Like, she was right for that. So, yeah, but I think it was those two.
Interesting. I was going to say, because it would have, like, the timing of it, when you go out, it's just like a one-time guest star, and then you don't get to be on that show ever again. And you always want to kind of hold out for those, like, is it a recurring, do I get to come back multiple episodes, make the most of it?
Which is great, because in this case,
I was hoping to come back. I think I was hoping. I think they said they left it open because I was kind of related to you.
Exactly.
But I think then it went, you guys switched studios, right? Or networks or
to something. UPN.
Yeah.
And then eventually, Allison, none of us came back. So they didn't even give us time to get back to Laurie. Yeah.
It's such a good show, though. I just remember like rewatching just the little bit. It makes me want to watch it again, because I just remember even at the time, it was such a good show. So many great actors, the guest starring and recurring, and also just the people behind. Isn't one of the guys that was maybe either one of the directors or something, he do Game of Thrones, or I feel like,
well, David Nutter, yes.
Yeah.
And then Ron Moore is he Outlander?
He was Outlander, Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, he's killing it as well. You get it. Yeah, there's a lot of great people that came from this show, and we had a lot of great guest stars, and looking back and rewatching all these has been a lot of fun. We don't remember so much shit, which is crazy. The fans get a little mad at us. They don't get mad at us, but they're just like, that's not what happened. That's not, because we're watching them out of order too. And me and Majandra are just clueless. We're like, I do not remember this storyline. This one I do specifically remember.
Yes. And I didn't remember why I was being chased. I thought it had to do with the fact that I was like Brendan, that you were from my grandfather's DNA. I didn't remember the part that I had some weird chromosome or whatever that I could be infected. That part I didn't remember.
The Gandarium, which is the crystals, can infect only certain humans, 1 in 50 million. And you have to have the correct DNA, RNA, gene, or whatever else, and you happen to have it. Now, I'm still unclear, and this is where fans lose their shit, because we should have done our homework, and we don't really. We just have fun with it. But like, where does the grandpa thing, like, is the grandpa gene in the Gandarium? Like, why do I look like her grandpa? If I'm from Antar originally, and she's human, but she's only part alien hybrid because of the Gandarium. Right. What's the relation? Why am I part? Why are we family?
I know. And then
did they take? What do you say? Like they took my grandpa because he had that too, or he might have had the.
But I'm not from this planet.
Yeah, I thought maybe they just borrowed the grandpa's DNA like as a model for what Michael was going to look like. I was confused as well. I started to clearly insert my own backstory that's not true.
Right.
Well, right here, the Gandarium are used to bridge the gap between alien and human cells, which we know, which means that the alien teens have some inside of them. So we have Gandarium inside of us. Alien powers do not work against the crystals. Okay. But why am I related to you?
Wait, but they don't work against the crystals except for you were able to suck the air out. Like you were able to.
Yeah, I sucked the air out. So that's how I could do that. Laurie just happens. Okay. It's also pretty convenient that 1 in 50 million people who have the genetic defect. Oh, they call it defect. Sorry, Allison. Laurie just happens to live fairly
it wasn't
close
just
to
that was mental.
How the Gandarium would be lethal to the human race once mutated is something I guess we'll never know. So not even Robert Burnett knows. And if anyone can answer.
Yeah, so it says it mentions that Michael's human form was genetically crafted using DNA from Laurie Dupree's grandfather, Charles Dupree. Charles' abduction and experiences were documented in his journal, which detailed alien interactions and the harvesting of his DNA. This genetic material was used later to construct Michael's human body, explaining their biological connection.
Was that ever explained in our show?
I think maybe the books.
The books. Oh, and then okay.
And so I just happened to then also have the mutated.
Well, then you were related to, that was your grandpa.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And you happen to have the defect. Oh,
right.
All very good stuff.
Yeah. No, it was fun. Yeah.
I would recommend going back and watching it. At least start with To Serve and Protect, which is the first in the Hybrid Chronicles. And that's where you first appear, and then you do the 4 episodes. So they get better and better. And we've done a lot of season 2 on this podcast, even though we're going out of order.
Right.
And it starts off pretty wacky and wild compared to the first season. And we've been saying this kind of, in my opinion, gets us back on track a little closer to the show.
Right.
That we were, minus the octopus queen at the end. Why it's an octopus? We don't know.
Real quick, I wanted to say when I rewatched the episode, the character that got shot, who I've seen in so many things as well. I had to Google. I Googled back people in the show because it's so fun to then see them in things afterwards. The stunt man that did it, I actually had worked with before as well. There was a stunt man that took the shot. And I remember showing up to set, and this is what a small world back in the day it was. I felt like on those sets, I had worked with on a kids show, on my first ever guest star on a Nickelodeon kids show or something. He was, because I had to ride a horse, and he had horses and stuff, and he was just a lovely man, and he happened to be the guy that took the bullet for the guy in the episode, which was
Grant,
fun to
right?
watch.
Grant.
I love it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Grant shoots me.
Yeah, he shoots you, but then then he gets shot by, I think, the Sadler.
Agent Duff.
And the
Sadler. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and then that's when the thing kind of comes out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The octopus.
Crystals come out.
That
now, Allison,
I was like, what stunts are you doing on a Nickelodeon show?
I was just a horse riding, I know, right?
But then the horse makes sense.
Yes. Well, it was actually, I rode horses when I was a kid, and that's kind of was what my first like ins when I the first two like bigger things that I got. They were, you know, when you had to say what skills you have, and
I was gonna say goes on the resume.
I ride horses, and you know, it's like your skill level. You always kind of, you know, sometimes you're maybe embellish a little bit, but I mean, I actually did ride horses, but I had to ride a horse, and like in that episode, I had to be like some kind of not professional, but like very experienced horse rider, and he, I think, provided the horses, but also was, you know, one of the stunt guys on it. So
he's double dipping, renting out the horses in the studio. Nice, I like it.
Got a horse, got a monkey. Yeah,
exactly.
Now, did you, Allison, have the same reaction that I had, or just thoughts in general about the like squid that comes out of him that is the Crystal Queen?
As in, like, wow, how things have gotten better in the last 20 years in regards to tech,
and like, what is the bridge between crystals and like a squid looking thing? You know, that was hard to connect. I think
it is, but I feel like I've seen since then other things that they kind of fall into, making aliens look like octopus or squid, kind of that idea of like the big brain and like tentacles.
What's the Amy Adams show where she talks to them? They kind of look squid-like behind that thing where she's figuring out their language.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm totally forgetting. Yes. I mean, I think that was even in the Will Smith movie, the big one, Independence Day. Didn't that thing kind of have all these tentacles that came out? He had a big head, and he ended up making the guy talk by holding like.
I did not.
Yeah,
they all kind of look like they had tentacles.
What was the was it on Sesame Street or the Muppets where those two like those little?
I don't know.
You don't know what I'm. Shoot. They were so dumb. They were like blue and red.
Okay, I'm gonna think.
It's not like Fraggle Rock.
I don't think it was Fraggle. I don't think it was Fraggle Rock. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Yes, here we go. They were Martians.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh, that is Sesame Street, right?
That does seem familiar, but what were they?
I just remember.
What were they supposed to be? Were they supposed to be aliens?
They're Martians.
How much Sesame Street were you watching as a kid?
Oh, yes.
Yep. Yeah, they say yep.
That's amazing.
They were called the Yip Yips.
I just remember always the yip. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't know. I guess there we go.
I guess that's where it came from. Yeah. Okay.
It was a Sesame Street reference.
Sesame Street.
You know what? Now I'm not so mad about it.
Totally.
Maybe I do accept it. Yeah, I was really taken aback by that squid. I was like, what is happening?
And it's all crystals, and then it's just like slime against the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you that Majandra got a hold of you, and I mean, we've been talking about you, but when she called and texted me and said like Allison's in, I was like yes, because it wouldn't have been right not to have you on, and this was the perfect episode and the perfect timing. Yes. So we're super happy about this, and it's so really good to see your face and catch up.
It's so good to see you guys.
All right. Well, we'll let you go, and Allison Lange, everyone, Laurie Dupree.
Yay.
Thank you so much,
good
Allison.
To see you guys. So good to see you. I'm going to watch all the Roswells now.
She looks like identical.
She did.
And she's so much fun. Sweet, and she's one of the good ones.
Well, you know, if you'd kept in touch with her like I have, is she really one of the good ones to you, Brendan? Never just out of sight, out of mind?
Yeah. Just because I'm an asshole doesn't mean I don't appreciate people. Well, that was great. But there's still a couple things that I got to say about this episode. I can't wait to hear what she thinks about. Well, I guess she remembered the whole Hybrid Chronicles, but going back to watch the pilot. But she should watch. I hope she does. I hope it, brings her a little bit of joy.
The thing is, she's just a really good actor.
Yeah.
She should watch just to be like, damn, I'm a fucking good actor.
It's true. Yeah. And it's a good show. It's fun
when we look back.
It's not always our experience.
I see the cracks when I look back.
I'm still watch stuff that I do now and go, what are you doing, pal? What's going on? What are you thinking? What are you thinking when your camera's rolling?
Why aren't you thinking?
Why aren't you thinking?
Why can I tell that you're not thinking?
Or why can I tell that you're thinking? Like way too much.
Yeah, exactly. Why are those not the character's thoughts?
Totally. I have some interesting notes here. And again, this was just last night and fully sober. And I have Michael as Dicey, which I don't know what that means. And then Carmen was a twist. Never saw it coming. What do I mean by that?
Oh, because Carmen gets stabbed. Or sorry, she gets choked.
Oh, that's right.
I wrote creepy Carmen.
Yeah.
And then I did right before that. Well, I have a few things before that, but anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh, go.
Remember at the table read, I'll never forget this. This was a moment, seared in my brain.
Ooh.
Where I thought, wow,
speaking really of, do we have a journal entry?
Nope.
Okay.
Not at all. I was like, this guy doesn't know me, And this was because during the table read, I said, Maria has to say something about the Pinot Noir. And in the table read, I said Pinot Noir because, of course, that would be fucking hilarious. And I think I also said filet mignon, because I loved playing like Maria's sort of uncultured.
Right.
And in the table read, you go, it's Pinot Noir. Like you corrected me during the table read. And I was like, I know, Brendan, it's a choice or something to that effect. And on the day, they insisted that I said Pinot Noir because I'm not reading it. I'm just hearing it. Because she comes in, the whatever Dupree lady comes in and goes, it's Pinot Noir glaze or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember being really disappointed that I didn't get to say filet mignon or Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir.
No wire.
Noir.
Braveheart night. I mentioned Braveheart. That's one of my top 3 movies of all top 5 movies of all time.
Wait. Really quick, one of my notes was Colin has gone through puberty. Entered manhood. Again, just one note over here. But when she is swimming, just before you say it's Braveheart night, that was, again, seared in my brain, my first sort of slap in the face with HD. Because Jamie Barber, I believe, came over. Because Jamie was still, right?
Yeah, he was a cameraman.
He came over.
He was DP in season 3.
Behind the camera, I think. And he walked over and was like, you're going to have to shave.
Oh, your legs or your mustache?
No, my beard. And he was like, you're going to have to shave because I can see there's like a little bit of stubble. I was like, what? Because you could never see things like that before. You could always get away with whatever.
Right.
And Carol.
Talk about someone coming in a womanhood. Manhood. Move on.
Yeah.
It didn't.
No, it was. You have exposed something. It was my pubes. I just didn't want to be so one note. No. But yeah, so I had to do a quick like dry shave.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, not that bad. Right. But yeah, it was a big wake up call where I was like, oh, like, do you see pimples? Because the idea of that was so crazy back then.
Well, so this was still shot on film, but I remember when...
this was an HD moment. They had that thing and they were like doing the HD trials. Oh, sorry. Wait, you're going to talk about something else. Yes.
I didn't think it was on this one. But anyways, this whole show was shot... Roswell was shot on film. And I remember I did a movie after, and we were doing it on... It was the first movie, it was the first movie I had done on digital. And I remember getting my makeup put on, and I'm in the makeup chair, And I kind of I love getting my face touched, and like makeup chair is so relaxing to me. And so I just go in there in the morning, and I remember like opening my eyes and looking, and it was like white face, like crazy mime looking. And I was just like, what did you do? And she's like, oh, this is HD makeup. Like you have to put on they had different makeup when digital first came out. That was, I don't know if it exists anymore, or it can't, because you can just use regular makeup now, but it was literally this specific HD makeup, and they had to color my face a certain way because of what the camera, whatever through the lens was picking up. And I was just like, no, I was like, you can't convince me this is going to look normal, because it looked like I did white, like it was white. But anyways.
Yeah, that is strange to me, because it's like the whole thing of HD, the whole trauma of what happened when Jamie came over and said that was that whatever little like camera they were playing around with or whatever, like saw everything. So then this thing would have seen the white kabuki makeup.
Let's stick with kabuki.
Kabuki?
No, you were right.
What were you going to say?
Bukkake.
And that's what you thought I meant originally? Talk about one note.
I didn't remember Grant shot me.
Oh my God. Can we just discuss
the
vomitous feelings when Maria, why did I do this? Why did I do Maria dirty like that? Oh boy, don't get that. I saw that look across the eyes. I'll tell you why I did Maria dirty.
I'll tell you how I did her dirty.
No, I would, there's a couple times where I made these choices to have her do these like little baby voice shit to Michael. And it was so disgusting.
What did you do? What did you say when I got shot?
Yes, where she's like, you brave, and like kisses and like, ugh. Like I am truly just wanted to, I have never been more horrified by my own performance. Do you not know what I'm talking about? She like kisses him after he gets shot. She's like, you brave something. Yeah. And like talks to him like a fucking...
Yeah.
No? I sorry.
Remember, it didn't strike me as...
Okay, you know what? There's something wrong with you.
Well, maybe there is. Disgusting. Okay. That exposes something.
By the way, in my notes, it's so big. You can find it no matter where you are in the room. It's just like, wanted to vomit. It says, Maria treats Michael like a cat puppy. Ew, vomit. I guess Maria thinks he's an idiot too. Why is she talking to him like that?
Speaking of Dum Dum, and obviously everyone calling Michael Dum Dum, and I married an alien and playing him dumb, and Michael convincing Laurie, you give me the whole speech of right. Whatever it is, and then I just regurgitate that to Laurie.
Oh yeah, and then you're like, Maria kind of helped.
But it's it's in such a way, like it is in a dumb way, like trying to come up and sound smart. And I just thought it was a fun little moment where it doesn't make him dumb, but it was he was kind of a little on the dimmer side. Yeah,
I wrote
because he couldn't quite pull it off.
Yeah, I wrote, there's, that saying, a cool guy is just his 3 ex-girlfriends in a trench coat. I said, but in the case for Michael, it's just 3 Marias.
What is, I don't even know what that means.
Well, 3 ex-girlfriends, like, like when little kids like sit on top of each other and they put on a trench coat to be like one person.
Okay.
There's always a joke that's like, any cool guy is just his 3 ex-girlfriends in a trench coat. Like he stole all the like cool things about whatever. Oh, and then I wrote, that's Michael, but just 3 Marias during that conversation because 100% it was wild. Yeah. And then I did write, you're going to like this because it's a compliment. I wrote, Michael, flawless skin. How? Like how your skin was like velvet.
Oh, it looks...
That's more of crushed velvet right now. I'm seeing more about pleather. But But yeah, it was like a baby. It was so sweet. I was like, oh my goodness. And I remember we'd always be like, I have a pimple. Like we'd complain about her skin.
Yeah.
Now, again, sorry to be so one note, but when they're outside in the robes, felt like Maria wanted to take Michael's robe off.
Oh.
That's what I felt. I could see
Maybe you did. My dad always wears robes. It's very Jake Fehr. I wear a robe with a real belt around it most of the time because I lost my belt. So it's just like this leather
I mean, how
belt.
have you had 3 children?
And then my kids, and then for Christmas or my birthday, I don't recall.
They bought you one?
Yeah, they bought me a robe. I think it was for Christmas. I think so. Yeah. So now I have one. And it's not a loose belt. It's like sewed into it, right? So you can't lose it.
They sewed it.
It is a loose belt. They're like, this fucking guy can't
They're like, listen,
keep it
how
together.
much
He's lost
extra
his light. He's lost his remote control to the other light. He's going to lose this belt. We got to sew it on.
He's gonna lose the belt. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I was also like, the sheriff shows up? That was shocking to me.
Yeah, because he convinces the deputy or the agent the whole time. I mean,
Didn't see that coming. It's just unfortunate.
That's really all. And then I have, he does a good job of being crazy.
Yeah.
For what he did. It was really good. I do have this. Michael can't pull off taking the credit for Maria's smart ideas, but instantly understands bad blood. That's why they want you. Like he can't, he can't pull off the whole convincing Laurie, regurgitating what Maria said. So in that sense, he's a little bit, he's incompetent in that area. But then bad blood, like that's where his smarts lie. Is he's instantly like, oh, they want her for the bad blood. I got that's where he excels. So I felt that I recovered there. Well, he's got his got his his pros.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's all I got, really.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the. Sorry, you.
No, I was gonna say that, and I'm gonna have to get off of Grant after this, and luckily he's dead, so I'm gonna have to. But I did write. Oh, I did work with Grant. This was my realization that I did work with Grant.
Way to bury.
Well, because we were in the same location. You knew.
You knew.
Not only does Grant die, but I was there when he died. Because
you're talking about on this show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant like on another show. I was like, holy shit. I was like, wait. I was like, and you don't remember?
No, I'm amazed that I was actually in a room with this man. And this whole time I've been wondering, I'm like, I guess our paths never cross. It's like, no, you watched him get squibbed.
I think you were also in the crash down with him at one point. What are you eating?
That makes sense, though. It's a big set. But I'm there during his most intimate moment.
What are you eating, though? Is that chocolate or fudge or a sausage?
It's a date.
Date. Okay. It's a date.
Ever heard of him?
Okay.
But yeah, it says not only does Grant die, he dies, and I'm there. And then I said, beautiful crystals coming out of your chest is a tough, quote unquote, scary. It was like, and then these like beautiful purple crystals come out of his chest. It wasn't quite like the alien popping out in the Sigourney Weaver vehicle.
Yeah.
And then when all that happens, Maria just has to sneak in a grab of Michael's manly lats. I don't know if you saw that. She
I didn't.
Does this like creepy touching of his lat. And then I wrote, man, they really just left Grant in the basement, didn't they?
Well, yeah, what happens to his body now? I guess she's got to be careful what she writes in the report, but there's still going to be an autopsy.
I know.
And he's clearly, he's got to have he had the queen in him.
Yeah.
He's got to have the Gandarium. Where does that show up?
Yeah, covering these things up makes me very nervous. But what really made me nervous is just leaving Laurie in that entire house. Like, look, she forgot her grandfather died.
Yeah, she thought she forgot she was at his funeral. Like,
she's not well.
She's going to get lost in this house.
She can handle a property of that
Yeah, she is damaged psychologically.
Yeah, like her mental health isn't, you know,
she needs a caretaker.
Run an estate level. And that was really, I wrote, that's a lot of property.
Or some rehab of sorts, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well,
they really just signed the papers over and were like, all right, Laurie, you're on your own. Like,
totally.
Wild.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, on that note.
Lovely episode.
Lovely end of the Hybrid Chronicles with a great guest. And you just got to wait and see what happens next week, where we jump to. But this was.
I don't know. No.
Yeah, we don't even know. This was a real treat.
Such a treat, always. My gosh.
Thank you for experiencing this with me.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you. All right. I just disgusted myself talking of.
Thank you for holding space. Is that what, like, the vibe you were going for?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Holding space. That's like baby talk to Michael.
Nothing's that bad. All right. Till the next one. Bye.
Sayonara.
Oh.
The X-Files with Majandra Delfino
and Brendan Fehr is a production of Portholes Inc. Media.
Edited and mixed by Stephen Wells.
The music by Fred Corey.